Welcome, HealMyTech, and welcome. This is Ash from HealMyTech, helping you go from newbie to techie. So this is our third live session this week, and my third live session on the channel altogether. Today's topic is going to be about the best camera for YouTube for beginners. Is older tech okay? Should you upgrade for 2019? Okay. I'm going to be talking to you about those three aspects: what I'm currently using as a tech person and what I'm looking to use in the near future. Am I going to be upgrading? Am I using older tech? Right. So today is not a troubleshoot question and answer session, unfortunately. Just to let you know, I'm actually very sick. My family's been unwell all week and I'm sick since yesterday. But because YouTube requires that we upload regularly nowadays, the algorithm favors those who those who upload more regularly and more consistently. So I am trying to do what I can from my end. Hopefully it should help my channel. Okay, now still going to give you some value for your time though. Now if you're just joining in, I would love for you to say a little hello to me, so I want to know who I'm talking to, hopefully. But even if no one is tuning in, we're still going to do the video and then it'll be uploaded as a video you can watch later. So keep your questions hopefully to the end for this topic. I'm not answering troubleshoot questions today. Today's questions about using older gear in terms of the camera and content creation and the older tech like the computers, and what kind of specs should you be using coming into 2019, especially if you want to start YouTube or if you want to continue YouTube after a bit of rough patch. Okay, right, let's go for it. So the first aspect most people want to kind of focus on is the camera. Now, I did a video before about the Canon 1300D. Video is going to be up there or up here and in the description below. And I said that I believe it was not a suitable camera for vlogging for YouTube because it lacked 4 features, right? Since then, I've been using this camera. This is the Canon EOS 650D. In the States, it's called the Rebel T4i. There's another one before this, is the 550D. It's also called the T3i. Okay, and these cameras are what I would recommend if you want to start YouTube, and because it's got those 4 features and a bit more. I'll talk about this in a few minutes. Now, the first feature that it has is a fully articulated screen, and this is vital for vlogging. If you're a one-man crew and you're trying to film yourself, you need to see what's going on. Not just an articulated screen which flips at the top. I wouldn't recommend those because the positioning of the screen at the top is a bit limited in terms of a microphone that you may want to put, and it's a bit awkward, right? But I would recommend one which swivels kind of 180, 360, and then goes back, and the 650D or the 550D does the job perfectly well. Okay, that was a big problem in my previous camera, and I wish I knew this, and I would never have gotten the 1300D to start with. So flip screen on the side and fully articulated. Get those types of cameras. That's number 1 feature. Second feature I would recommend is the ability for the camera to autofocus or focus during video recording. Now, again, for vlogging, very, very important. Granted, the 650D does not have the best autofocus in the world. The Canon 70D and 80D are some of the best cameras for autofocus in terms of older DSLRs. But it has something. It's better than nothing. Okay, the 1300D did not have that, and that was a huge problem. Okay, third feature is the ability to plug in a 3.5mm microphone to use, and that is a big lifesaver. Now, professionally, you should always try to record your audio separately. It's much better, much cleaner. You can edit the audio and then do some post work and synchronize the whole thing. But in situation where you need a very quick setup, grabbing your camera, plugging in maybe a Rode, not this one, maybe the Pro version, this is the Go version, on top, shooting, run, gun and blazing, and it's really handy to have that feature already available. I have done a couple of videos whereby I just use a microphone or even that one, and it was really fast to produce and upload something. Okay, so it's much better. Like, you know, the onboard audio sucks on most cameras. Don't even count on that. Use it on it as reference audio. Okay, and the last feature for a vlogging camera is the ability to record more than 10 minutes. The Canon 1300D only recorded 12 minutes and would stop. You could restart again, but it would stop, and that's probably like a feature to protect it from overheating. This one and a lot of cameras, they do at least 30 minutes. Granted, the 30 minutes will be divided into 3 files. I think it's 4 megabyte per file, but when you put them in post for editing, it's not a problem. Okay, so that for my kind of repertoire, what I'm doing, 30 minutes is decent. I can work with that. Okay, obviously you can restart after 30 minutes, but at least it's not 10 minutes. So those are the 4 main features which this camera has, and I would advise you that if you want to get that, by all means get yourself one of these, or look for any camera which has at least these 4 features if you want to do vlogging on YouTube, especially as a one-man crew or one-woman crew or whatever you are these days. If you are a one-person crew being on YouTube. Okay, if you excuse me, I'm gonna have some water. Okay, now I don't advise you to get a brand new camera if you are thinking of starting. There are mirrorless cameras these days, really good. There are other types of point and shoot which are really good as well, but although this does not shoot 4K, for beginners, still currently we don't have a deployed standard 4K content throughout the whole world. So it's not necessary unless you are a professional and your work is being paid and it's professional and your client requires 4K footage, then you would need a 4K camera. But if you're a YouTuber today, at the end of 2018, even going into 2019, you don't need 4K footage. Okay, the reason I'm telling you this is because you may be tempted to get a 4K camera like the Panasonic G, whatever it is, 7, or one of the newer Sony cameras, or even the new Canon, I think is the EOS M, whatever it's called. Okay, M50 or M500. Yeah, now they're expensive. Okay, and if you're starting out on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers, they keep recommending to get the you know, the baseline model for 4K as a starter, brand new, but you don't need that because you'll be spending too much money. And what they're not telling you is that the camera by itself is not enough to produce content. It's actually the least of your worries. Before you even consider camera, if you don't have a good story, if you don't know how to tell the story, if you don't know how to spread the message that you want, don't even bother having the latest Hollywood style Blackmagic camera or Red camera, whatever it is. You're not going to be able to produce good content. You need good story, okay? And that requires planning. But in terms of techniques, right, the first thing about video is not the video, but it's about audio. That's right. Most people, they spend a lot of money buying a brand new camera and then they don't spend any budget on the audio, and the audio sucks. The onboard audio on the camera is really bad. Ask any professional, you need to spend time and money and research and get good quality audio for your video production, okay? Second thing that you need is lighting. Yep, lighting is far more important than the camera. You could give a base camera to a professional, but if they can manipulate the lighting, they can control that, they will produce excellent results. But if I give you a very good camera and you don't have good lighting, then you're going to produce crap, right? Then you can look at the camera. But even then, looking at the camera in and of itself is not enough. You need a tripod for a lot of things, and this is just a flexible tripod. For video, you need a fluid head tripod, like the Manfrotto versions, and they're not cheap. They're over £150 probably if you want to get decent fluid action, which will give you those smooth panning visuals. You need extra batteries, you need SD cards, you need portable lighting, you need backup audio, you need a second camera. Yep, if you're going to do video, you need a second backup camera, you need a camera bag. There are so many accessories that you need. If you spend all your money on a £500 and plus on a camera, you're going to be left with nothing to get the accessories, and you will not be able to produce content. What I would advise you is to go to the used market and even get yourself an older DSLR, or even probably an older mirrorless at this point, or even an older point and shoot to start with, but don't buy brand new. Save that budget. At least half of the budget would be saved. You can buy all these other accessories. It will make your life a lot easier. This is gold advice, which I thought that I knew. I wish I had when I started. I've wasted so much time. I probably have wasted 2 whole years on YouTube because I did not know that, and I was trying to work with what I had. If I knew, I would never have bought that 1300D brand new 2 years ago, because I could not even use it. It took me so much time. I would even say to you, if I was in your shoes and starting now, this is what I would say: get a cheaper camera, but the money that you save, invest in a course. Learn about how to manipulate a DSLR or a mirrorless. Learn content creation. Learn video editing. Video editing is another bomb. It takes so much time, but if you know the techniques, it makes your life so much easier. Okay, so be savvy. Right, that's in terms of the camera. Now, if you've got the money, you want to go for 4K mirrorless, the brand new, that's fine, that's your choice. You know, on this channel, we're always trying to get you some value for your time and for your money. We're trying to tell you to think. Don't just jump on the bandwagon because everyone is buying the latest stuff. Remember, the latest stuff of today is tomorrow's old tech, right? Samsung Galaxy S10 is coming hopefully in 2019. It's meant to be brand new kind of design, features, architecture even, and it's going to blow the whole competition out of the water, right? So the S9 of today will be old already. There's already a big hype about it, which brings me to my second part to this video, and it is smartphone. I bought the Samsung Galaxy S7 a few weeks ago, about 3-4 weeks ago. S7, that's right, not 8, not 9, and I did not go for iPhone 10 or Huawei or the Chinese brand. Now, the main reason that I went with Samsung to start with, this is not sponsored video by the way. I had the Samsung Galaxy S5, which I bought last year. Link above and below. I did a video on this, why I bought that. It's been working fine. Unfortunately, recently, because I've been using it so much, it started to give me some display issue, like a red line across. This is a display problem. The loudspeaker doesn't work properly anymore. The front camera has got some dirt on it. I probably have to clean it, so I have to open it. So there's a few issues with this phone right now. Instead of throwing it away, I thought after I get myself another phone, I'm gonna fix it up, kind of upgrade it, and keep it as a second phone, because I do need 2 phones. Okay, now why did I go for the S7 and not the S6? Because the S6, I believe, does not have ability to add in SD card for extra memory, so I didn't bother. But the S7, right, I paid £170, and in today's market, £170 is nothing compared to £1,000 iPhone 10. Okay, and it's doing everything that I needed to do. It's my main phone. I even use it to content create, because the couple of videos, one which was the one we went to Curry's, above there and below, for the laptop traps, we used the phone to just film the whole thing, and I had plugged in a Boya BY-M1 microphone into there. Obviously, I could have tweaked the kind of setting a bit to get better audio and probably much better quality video, but the video was perfectly acceptable. This is a really good phone. Why do I want to pay over 800 and something pounds for features I will never use? I mean, over 800 pounds, that's a brand new computer with probably money to spare to get me some SD cards, another battery, or even another freaking camera. So there's no point. Perfectly happy with this, and as long as it's working, I'm sticking to this. If I do upgrade, now if the Samsung Galaxy S10 is a game changer and it has features that will actually help me in my work, or maybe I get my hands on them as one of the first people, of course I will always try to go for new tech. Just because I use older tech doesn't mean I'm a proponent for only using older tech. I say use the tech that does the job, whether it's new tech or old tech. But just because you now have a new feature on a phone, it will not improve the quality of your life. In fact, it will probably decrease it. A lot of people that I know have flagship smartphones. Hi, Ajit Kumar, Rajendran, welcome. A lot of people have flagship smartphones, and then they eventually will drop it. It's not a question of when. Sorry, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Most people, at least I know, they don't use a case, they will drop it, and then for the next 2 years of their contract, whatever, how many years the contract they are left, they're walking with a cracked screen. You've seen it. And it's ugly. I mean, that's so demeaning. What the heck? That is so below the status that you're kind of trying to kind of prowess this phone. Don't do that, bro. If you're not willing to repair the phone, no matter how much it costs, you shouldn't have it in the first place, because you're going to drop it. And some of you are so, I don't want to use the word arrogant, but you're so stuck up in your own mind to think you don't even want to put a case to protect it in case you drop it, because you think it's going to destroy its beauty. It's a freaking rectangular device. It's got a display, it's got a processor, RAM. You use it to make phone calls, to browse, take pictures, and that's it. It's the same freaking thing, okay? So anyway, just don't mind my ranting. I'm sick, I'm very sick, so you should excuse me. Okay, so all this to tell you that if you're thinking about starting on YouTube, or even maybe you're tempted at the moment to get some brand new products from Black Friday, end of the year, from sales, I mean, go for it if you've got the money, but don't do it thinking your life will now be better and that you'll have all this wonderful gear, you'll be producing wonderful content, and everyone will be admiring you. The tool is just a tool, okay? And it's about how you use it. Right, I'm very thirsty, and we're going to talk about one last thing, and we're going to call it a day or a night. And that is the last piece of old tech I'm going to talk about, is what kind of computer am I using to do my video editing and act as my main driver. You probably know the answer to this. Last year when Ryzen came about, I did a video up there and below. Should you upgrade to Ryzen? And I stated that I will not be upgrading to Ryzen because it was not necessary for me to upgrade, because of the 80-20 principle. I would not have benefited from spending almost £1,000. It would not have improved my content creation, nor would it make my frequency of upload any better. So I decided against it. So I've used the what? Let me switch to my full screen. I hope you can see on there. I'm still using the AMD FX 8350. Yep, the pile driver, Viscera core, whatever it is, the 8 core. It's actually 4 core, 8 threads. Okay. Still rocking, and as far as 1080p videos is concerned, it's absolutely fine. I've not had a single issue with it, okay, until last week when I needed to edit a 6-minute video, and the footage, I forgot to change the white balance setting on my camera, so it was a bit yellowish. So I thought I'd come home and input it into a video editor and then do a bit of color manipulation for the first time. And my CPU spiked like no one's business, even during the scrubbing, okay? And normally a 6-minute video will take roughly 6 minutes for me to output and render in 1080p. That video took 3 times longer, 18 freaking minutes. It was unbelievable. If that video was 20 minutes, it would have taken 1 whole freaking hour. This is the first time I realized that my current system would not withstand any 4K dealing. It would not withstand any color correction if I wanted to do any, and it's probably not going to be up to standard for modern stuff. Saying that, if I record footage as good as possible without needing to color correct or color grade, and I'm still outputting 1080p, I believe I could still use this computer for the next 2 years for YouTube, because I'm outputting 1080p and my videos are quite basic in terms of editing. I don't use extra 3D special effects. It will be fine. I do want to upgrade because I probably will start manipulating some 4K footage soon. Not necessarily for YouTube, more for my own personal gain and professional learning, because it is kind of the some of standard of the current world. It does use 4K, although it's not fully deployed worldwide. So it's just in terms of keeping up to date with the tech. And the other reason I would want to probably upgrade is to give you guys a full tutorial on building a PC, starting with the parts to choose, going through all the process one after the other in a full series, including the software and where to get them, especially for free and legally, and especially trying to put Linux on there and use it as an end user, and Windows, and hopefully a Hackintosh with Mac, but we'll come to that later. So that will be the only reason. But I will still keep my FX 8350 as a second computer, as a research computer, as even a backup video editing computer for 1080p videos, no problem. And as far as gaming is concerned, we can still game pretty okay on it. Obviously not the latest title on 4K and, you know, on ultra 120 FPS, probably not, but for a lot of games it's still fine, and so we'll keep it, and to do some benchmarking, some comparison, hopefully. All this is to tell you that I hope you don't feel forced to buy brand new tech because they're out there and because people and YouTubers are just wanting you to buy. Don't let people judge you by what kind of things you possess and what kind of tech you use. If those are the kind of people you're hanging out with, I feel sorry for you and I feel sorry for them. You should find new friends. Don't let them judge who you are by your possession. That's what I'm saying. And I'm a testimony to this. I'm quite happily doing my work with the current tech that I have. I have nothing against new tech. In fact, a new tech that I bought recently and I showed the unboxing was kind of a new Zoom H6, a bit of overkill for me, but I like it. It's really good. I mean, it does what I need to do. And I will always buy the tech that I need. And that's the final advice. Regardless of whether it's an old tech or a new tech, regardless of whether it costs cheap or expensive, regardless whether it's brand new or used, if you need something to do a job that no other tech will do, then you get that thing. And that's clear. So if it costs £100, get it. If it costs £1,000, get it. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And that could have been summarized. We could have done this whole video in 30 probably seconds or less. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Just to remind you, for the next couple of weeks, I am traveling urgently because my mum is not very well, so I want to go see her, and I will not be able to do much tech video. However, I would want to experiment with some content creation, filming, and kind of production skills that I've been learning. Not necessarily travel vlogging, because my last travel vlog from Italy was a fiasco. I used the wrong camera, but I'm going to be using mostly my phone because I'm not ready to I don't have enough time to get the other types of cameras right now to take, so it'll be my phone mostly and the DSLR whatever I can, but I'll bring a decent microphone. But more importantly, I'll be looking for stories to cover, so I'll give you a bit of kind of travel vlog style, the exciting food to have in the country I'm going to go. So I won't tell you where I'm going yet, but once I'm there, I'll be uploading, hopefully. Also, I won't have any editing machine with me because I'm going urgently, so that'll be a problem, which is why I'll probably stick to just filming on the phone and kind of updating you as I go along. Okay, so for some questions now. Tony Simon, hello, what would you recommend as a good fanless PC? Okay, Tony, it depends what you're going to use it for. Is it for gaming or content creation? And are you going to be building it or buying it? Tony Simon, that's not something I can answer in 30 seconds because I don't want you to spend money where you don't need to spend. Buying and not for gaming. So I'm guessing for what? For HTPC, like home cinema, or what? But there's a few options for this, but more importantly is about what you look for in a finance PC as well. You know, there's a compromise in terms of some of the heat element, but we'll talk about this more in detail. If you want to send me a message, or I'll try to find you and I'll give you some specification for this, okay? But I need to know exactly what you're going to be using for, where you're going to be placing it. See, all these decisions, and in fact, this is why we need to be doing more build to target specific use, because it's not, that's the beauty of building computers. You build one targeting your own specific situation, okay? So hopefully we'll talk about this later. Black 61 Black Sea Storm, hello, so how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Thank you for joining. We're just going to take a couple of last questions and I'm going to take my leave, hopefully. Okay, Tony, no worries. Don't worry, man. I got your back, but not today because I'm quite tired today. I'm sick, and also I don't want to advise you wrongly. Okay, but if you're planning to get this, take your time and research properly. Okay, and we'll help you hopefully. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna bounce. So thank you for tuning in, and just to remind you that this was not a troubleshoot video. This was about tech, whether you can still use older tech, and what we discovered was if it's doing the job you want to do, then use it by all means. But if you need new tech and no other tech will do, then get the new tech. But don't feel swayed, don't be pressured. And I will hopefully be tuning in online, or I'll try to upload videos, more of a travel vlog over the next couple of weeks. Please forgive me, I have to travel urgently. This is health, family issues, so I have no choice. So thank you so much for tuning in. You know what to do down below. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe if you've not done so yet. Also check out my other videos, and I will see you in the next one. This was Ash from HealMyTech, helping you go from newbie to techie. Until next time, peace out.